be this right here, the action reload. Likewise, that's going to be the only thing in our overshield as well. If I right click and type in action/reload, the first thing we need to check is if Overshield is already active, but more importantly, if it is full, because we don't want to waste a resource the same way that we wouldn't pick up a health pack if we had full health. So let's get hero reference, get Overshield actual, and check if it's equal to Overshield max. So to check these, but without putting a not boolean, we're going to check to make sure they're not equal. So put an exclamation mark and an equal sign. For float, this is a not equal. And we'll plug that into a branch here, holding B and selecting that. So the first check is our Overshield actual equal to Overshield max. If it isn't equal, we'll continue on. If not, if it is equal, then we'll do nothing. Or even better, let's get a print string and type in Overshield full. So we'll notify the player via a print string for now and via our actual HUD later on that the Overshield is full and they cannot pick it up. The next part's really easy. We're just going to get hero reference, get Overshield max, and set Overshield actual. So we'll plug Overshield max into Overshield actual with a reroutable to keep it clean. And then let's copy over that hero reference, set Overshield on. And this is where we're going to set that boolean to true. And then finally, destroy actor. So we'll plug Overshield actual in there. And there's our script ready to go. Action reload. Can we fit any more Overshield? If we can't, tell the player. If we can, then set that back to its max value and set the boolean to true and destroy actor. And if we already have Overshield, then this is just going to be setting a true boolean to true, which is going to do nothing essentially. So that's not harming anything. We don't need to check that on the other end. Let's compile and save that. And just for now, let's get a print string and put down Overshield on. So we can tell when the Overshield is on because we currently have no reference. We don't have an Overshield bar. However, we should go and do that. So let's go and do that. Go down to user interface, open up HUD player. And the same way we did our experience bar, we're going to put an Overshield bar as well. Let's copy this vertical box here. I'm going to put my Overshield down the bottom. Delete experience bar. And this bar will rename to Overshield. Grab that vertical box again. We've pasted it back inside itself, so let's drag it on top of canvas panel. It's moved itself up to the top right. I'm going to anchor mine to the bottom. Zero it out. Change the alignment to 0.5 on both to center it. I'm going to check the stats on this first vertical box. 75, 550 for the size. So I'll do the same with this vertical box. Negative 75. That's inside our gadgets, so let's go negative 100. 500 for the length, and 50 for the size, which is a little bit bigger than this here. So let's just type in 25 to begin with. I don't want it to be bigger than the health bar. I'd love it to be the same size, but determining what the same size is while we're fitting that in can be a little bit of a pain. We could even just go 37.5. There's a guess. That's pretty close. And let's go -125. Next up, I'm going to change the color. Selecting the progress bar. Selecting appearance here. Fill in opacity. Let's go for a purple. That'll do. And let's create a binding. Renaming this to get Overshield, because we already have 1,000 functions and we don't need to complicate it further. Let's get hero reference. And this will look exactly the same as our health bar. So if you wanted to pop over to health bar at the beginning, all we need is health actual and health max, or in this case, Overshield actual and Overshield max. Divide them by each other and shove them into the return value. Get Overshield actual, get Overshield max. And then we'll divide them by each other as I just said. And that's pretty much ready to go, except for one thing. We don't want that progress bar to be there if our Overshield isn't active. So let's scroll down to visibility, which is right here. So here we can set the visibility of this component. We're going to set it as hidden by default, but now we're going to go and create a binding for it. Let's call this binding get Overshield visibility, or viz. Get hero reference. Get Overshield on. Select out of this, because this will require us to plug in a Boolean, which is what we've got here. Changing that index to a Boolean. So if it's not on, then we want hidden, and if it is on, then we want visible. Compile and save that. The very final thing we have to do is drag our Overshield resource into the world. We'll throw him there and scroll back over to b_hero and find our damage script. So our damage script is talking directly to our health value. So let's affect health, turn off context sensitive, and we'll get this affect health message. The target is going to be us. So type in self. And the delta is going to be 5. So now we're calling the interface, and the interface should work accordingly. Let's compile and save that. And very finally, one last thing I did forget to do was set the Overshield max default value. So let's set that to 100 to begin with, the same as our health. Compile and save that. Another mistake I made, if we pop back over to base character, and we see this calculate Overshield, if we were to refer to calculate health, we actually grab our health value first and then subtract the delta from that. So let's switch these values around, grabbing control, and I can put the delta in there. So we need to say, what is our Overshield first, and then subtract from that, not the other way around. Get a reroutable in there so it's nice and clean. Compile, save, test, hit play, hit H to make sure that our health value is working. Sure is. Now walk up to the overshield, press E, and your overshield is on. You can see it in the bar there too, so we could get rid of the print string if we wanted. Now I hit H, and now instead of taking away my health value, it's actually taking away my overshield. And that would work for any enemy calling that interface. And then once the overshield is gone, we go back to subtracting our health. So that'll be it for this episode. Stay tuned for more later on.